I missed that. Disque.
There's not a whole lot to say about that first video. I got on the rail a couple times when I shouldn't have, but other than that, I played it pretty good. And I play this one good too. I get bad on the 7. If you look at the 7 and the 6, I wound up with a tough shot on the 6 to get on the 7, and I get straight in on the 7, and there's seemingly no way out of it to get on the 8. And so I have to power draw out of that shot. And I'll point all that out to you when we get to it. Things are going good. I'm in stroke and I'm getting out a lot. I'm playing better players, and they're starting to come in here too from all different places in the region. So they're just coming in to sharpen up their games, and we're just kind of hanging out and talking informally.
No questions asked. Win or lose. Of course, I usually won.
Not a good shot there. Play left-handed anymore.
Yeah, on this 5-0 shot here, I'm shooting it in the side so I can go off the right or the left-hand side rail to bounce right and get right on the 6. But I bounce off it a little bit too hard and get kind of a steep angle on the 6. So I have to go back and forth across the table, and I have to spin the cue ball off the second rail to come back down table at the right angle to get on the 7, but I shot it a little too good, and now I'm straight in with seemingly no way to get on the 8. There is a way, and I have to power draw out of it. And I put a little bit of right hand English on that, but it was not enough, so I didn't bounce hard enough off the right hand side rail and got a tough angle on the 8 to get back on the 9. So a little bit of train wreck at the end there, and I get bad on the 9, and I really have to come with the shot here again on the 9 ball to win this game. So, yeah, We could, let's go back and make some graphics about the end of this game, and you'll see clearly what could have been a disaster. So here's the 5-ball shot, and yeah, I'm a little bit too far left on the 5-ball, but we're shooting a 5-ball in the side, and then we're going down below the side pocket on the left-hand side rail and bouncing up to get right on the 6. The problem is I just plain old shot the 5 a little bit too hard and got carried away with it. I bent it well, everything was great. It's just I shot it too hard and it went off the rail all the way down to here, which is kind of an awkward angle on the 6-ball. And and the only reason it's awkward is because where the 7-ball is. So I should have shot that 5-ball a little bit lighter and just bounced up to here. And once I'm in this position on the 6, I'm good to go on the 7, and I can shoot the 7 down table in the left-hand corner pocket and pretty much get anywhere I want on the table. But, well, one thing leads to another, and I shoot the 6. And this 6-ball is a tricky shot that I really think all you guys, no matter how great you are, should set this up and practice it. So we need to get up behind the 7 on this side of the 7 and with an angle on the 7 to make it easy to get right on the 8-ball. So we're going back and forth on the table and getting up behind the 7-ball. And there's only one really powerful, really perfect way to do it, but the shot itself on the 6 takes a bit of a touch, and this is what it looks like with no English at all, and this wouldn't be any good on the 7, so we need to put English on this shot. But are we putting right hand English on it or left hand English on it? The biggest factor here is in how thin this shot is. So whatever English you put on it, that cue ball's still going to be spinning with that English well after it hits the 6-ball and the left-hand side rail. And I'm going to tell you right up front, I'm putting left-hand English on this, and that might sound crazy to you because at first thought, left-hand English is going to hook up on the left-hand side rail, and you're heading straight into Scratchville in that top right-hand corner pocket. But, and here's the whole trick to this shot, is it's a speed shot, so I'm hitting it hard enough to where the English is not going to take off that left-hand side rail, but the cue ball is still going to be spinning clockwise to the right-hand side rail, and that's the rail it's going to grip. So you want it slowing down after hitting the left-hand side rail, but not spinning it down in that corner. You still want the cue ball spinning, but slowing down as it's coming up to the right-hand side rail so that English grips the right-hand rail and throws the cue ball down table and on this angle. If you don't shoot it hard enough, that cue ball will grip the left-hand side rail and throw it straight into the pocket, or in the very least, you're going to get really, really bad on the 7-ball. So this is all about timing and speed control. Although I hit the 6-ball shot well, we wound up straight in on the 7-ball, and you could try to cheat this pocket, but my days of rattling object balls are over. I declared that a few months ago. I'll never rattle another object ball again. No more cheating pockets for me. Everything is dead center pocket. So that leaves me one option on the 7-ball. I'm not going to pull back a little bit and shoot a bank shot on the 8. So I'm drawing all the way back with the power draw to the bottom rail. And this is shot with bottom right. And I put a little bit of right on it, but it wasn't enough. And this was the result when it hit that bottom rail. It didn't spin it enough into the right-hand side rail. It just kind of drifted back up table at an angle. If I had put more right-hand English on this draw shot, when the cue ball hit the bottom rail, it would have spun it at a much wider angle in order to bounce off harder on the right-hand side rail and got straight in on the 8-ball. And the reason I want to be straight in on the 8-ball is because it's pretty much a stop shot on the 8 and for a straight in shot on the 9 in the side pocket. But it's back to reality, and here's where we get on the 8-ball, and I'm forced to go to the top of the table, avoid the scratch, and just go 2 quick rails and back on the 9. And I go too long and I come too close to the 9-ball, and I'm forced at that point to shoot the 9 in the top left-hand corner pocket. But that comes with a problem too, and that's a scratch shot straight into the left-hand side, so I have to hit it with a little bit of draw to pull it back underneath that left-hand side pocket. Alright, here's game number 3. And that was not a good break. I accidentally drew it back, and now I'm pretty tough on the 1-ball, but the toughest issue about this game is the 3 and the 4. What are we going to do about that? Well, you can't make the 3 without fouling in this corner pocket here. I did make the 7-ball on the break, so that's why I'm continuing to shoot here. Alright, I get a little bit creative. What would you do here, guys? Yep, and played the carom. That is not a billiard, it's a carom. That still leaves me kind of tough to get back on the 4, and let's see how we handle this. Well done. Well done. I'm patting myself on the back for that one. That was good. Especially that carom. That was good. Now it's back to business, and this pattern looks pretty easy. If I can get straight in on, what is that, the 6-ball? Yeah, it's pretty much a stop shot. You're right on the 8. It should be easy to get on the 9. And I think I do it. I don't remember, but I think I'm straight in. So, I mean, you could get straight in on the 8, but it's better to get a little to the left side of the 8-ball line, so that's why I'm going down table there. And I had to spin that. You could actually see that cue ball spinning with the clockwise English, so I put left on that 6-ball, and now I go too high on the 9-ball. Do not spin this thing, guys. Don't get in the habit of this. Just dead center ball and you'll be good. The problem with spinning them balls in is once you start getting used to that, you're actually misaiming the ball to make the ball. And then when you decide, that's just kind of stupid to be spinning that ball in, now all of a sudden you don't put any English on it and you can't make it. So it's creating really bad habits because you're using deflection to make balls, and you have to do that sometimes. Sometimes you have to do that, and you have to spin balls in order to get position, but that was the 9-ball. You don't have to get position. So you need to just cinch the shot and keep it as simple as possible. the title is in reference to one of the stories in one of my books that I wrote a long time ago. And I got involved with this woman who, and we made a deal about this, who pointed out some of the things I do that aren't considered normal, considered plain out weird. And this is a result of being a loner my whole life, I've always, pretty much, off and on around with other people, but I've always been alone. I was always the guy walking in the pool room by himself, and that was fine with me. And you can do this in pool, and it's perfectly normal. But the relationship started getting serious, and I'd be doing something or saying something, and she'd be like giving me this look like what? And she'd point out that what I was doing and saying just wasn't that normal. It was just normal people don't do what you're doing. And then she'd explain it to me. So, and then this started happening more and more and more, like 10, 20 times a day. And the whole point of it was that pool is like a net for outcasts, people, loners, people who are just plain different and don't really fit in anywhere else. But pool will always take you in and accept you for who you are. And now, I know a lot of people don't do that. But overall, if you look at the whole picture, there is a place for people that are a little bit different in the pool world, and this is the big attraction to pool for me. So I'd be like, how people make like Ritz cracker sandwiches and put stuff in between, it's like peanut butter and jelly, or cheese, or ham and cheese, or whatever. And so I'd be making these sandwiches, and she'd say, "John, that's just freaking weird." And I'm like, "That's not weird. Everybody does it." And then she would point out, people put cheese and ham, or cheese and pepperoni, where they put peanut butter only, or peanut butter and jelly, whatever. But nobody puts cheese and peanut butter in their Ritz sandwich. And I'd be like, "They don't?" Just, no, they don't. That's weird. I didn't know that they don't. I thought they do. I don't know, because I'm not around other people. I'm always by myself. That's why I named this video "You Belong Here." But because if you're different, and everybody's a little bit different. Everybody has quirks. Everybody has things that other people don't do. But pool doesn't. Pool kind of accepts you for who you are. It's like, yeah, the guy's weird, but he's harmless, and let him be the way he is. Just like little things, like little stupid stuff. Anyway, this kind of, it started gaslighting me, and had me thinking, something was wrong with me, something serious. So I kind of went back and forth on this. It's like, I need to tell her to stop doing this, because it's making me self-conscious, and now I'm questioning my own sanity. So, to make a long story short, everything just evolved inside my head, and I just said, I'm just going to accept my weird things. I didn't know they were weird until now, but now I know I'm weird. It ain't hurting anybody, right? Take me or leave me. That's who I am. So I like chocolate milk. I like vodka. You mix them together and you like it even more. That's the way I live. That's not normal. That's weird. Apparently. It's like, well, I don't want to be normal. Who the fuck wants to be normal? Then it's like, well, who wants to be normal? You know, normal people don't become champions. They don't go on to do great things. They don't. These people who do great things are not normal. I mean, look at it. Normal is 3.5 kids being in a marriage that you hate, working a job that you hate for a boss you hate, and, you know, having one broken down car and one car that runs and you're driving. That's normal. I don't want that. I mean, if you're out there and you're watching this video right now and you can't figure out where you belong on a pool table. That's where you belong, in some shady pool. That's where you belong. And it goes a little bit further than that. I'm making this video and I'm thinking about that I'm playing really good. I'm stronger than I've ever played in my life. I'm playing strong. But I don't have time to practice anymore. I'm always playing people. Now I'm playing people, and they're coming in from different parts of East Tennessee region, and I mean, these guys are really strong. So, you know, I set my camera up, and 5 minutes later, this world beater's walking in the doors wanting to play. Just to sharpen his game, and what's happening is it's really sharpening my game. And the result is pretty dang amazing. I mean, when you play better players, it forces you. When you're playing a player that you know, whether consciously or subconsciously, that if you screw up, you're going to lose. One little screw up's going to put you in your seat. And the result of that is either going to be you're going to play good, or you're just going to go to hell and give up. And I don't go to hell and give up. If somebody comes at me and they're playing really strong, I fire back at them. If this is what I want to play better players, which force my conscious mind to bear down, concentrate more, take it more serious, be careful, be more careful. That's a big one. And you start just saying, well, I'm not going to take that shot because that's risky. It's too risky. So if I dog that shot, I'm going to lose. He's just going to get up and run out. So what's a better shot? And this is where you really start going to the next step, or whatever your next level is.